Okay. It just came on. It just said it's being live streamed.
Yeah, so you can start now.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Brownstone Poets. Give yourself a round of applause. You made it. It's a rainy day here in Brooklyn and on the East Coast, but hey, the sun is always shining here on Zoomville. So we're going to have three fabulous features today. We have Danny Schott, Rescue Poetics, and Talina Lachelle Queen, plus you amazing open micers. So remember, okay, we have a 3-minute limit to read the open micers. We start with 12 people, and then we're going to have features 1 and 2. They have 50 minutes each, and that will be Danny and Rescue. And then we're going to have a 15-minute break. And when Roxy returns, we're going to have Talina come on and the rest of the open. So thank you for being here. Unfortunately, our friend from Brownstones, John McMullen, won't be here. He passed away on April the 17th. May he rest in peace in his memory. And also, today is National Poetry. It's still National Poetry Month. So we're here to keep the spirit of poetry alive. And I'll read off. And don't forget to mute unless you are speaking, and to use the chat room. The chat room is for your shameless plugs, your books or your upcoming readings, and positive comments on the poets. So I'm just going to read off the 12 people: Lakshman, Cindy Hockman, Edward Galt, Emily. Is that Emily Kavanaugh here? I don't know. Zeb Torres, Beth, Amy Barone, Ron Bremer, Elizabeth Moss, Phil Linz, and Carrie Radner. Anybody who has to leave early, let me know. I'll push you ahead. Okay, so we're going to start with Lakshman. Please unmute and share.
Hi, good afternoon, Brownstone Poets. This is Lakshman Bulfu from Princeton, New Jersey. I'm going to read a poem on mother, which is relevant to the coming Mother's Day. Ode to Mother. She comes like a glimmer in the sky during tough times. She comes like a thump of honey drums during weak moments. She opens up like jasmine spreading affection with its fragrant light. She soothes like melody of dawn chorus, chasing away the blues. She comes like the day moon in the reflection of dewdrops walking with you. She comes like the half moon chiaroscuro of your dreams. She comes like the first rays of daylight. She comes like gold of the day, turning your daydreams into reality. She comes as the one word, one world, hosting a host of worlds. She comes as a goddess blessing you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. You can read another one. We have a 3-minute limit. It's up to you.
Excuse me?
You can read another poem. You have you have up
Okay.
to 3 minutes.
Okay. 1 second. One second. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. This is a solo renge. It's titled Bewilderment. First day, the turn of colors in dawn's chorus. Amid crunch of leaves, lavender love. Clematis in bloom, dew-kissed purple pearls shine. Sumato of my dreams. Autumn joy in my hand, her first blush. Pumpkin art and craft, grins outsmart laughs. Ginkgo walk, zephyr of harvest hues, stirs my heart. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Patricia.
Excuse me,
Yeah,
hello?
Patricia. Yeah, Patricia, you said something about leaving early.
Yeah, who's speaking? Oh, Ernest?
It's Ernest. Yeah.
Yeah, you leaving early?
Maybe leaving a little earlier before everything ends. Yes.
Okay, okay. We'll have you in this group, okay? Okay,
Okay.
next one we have Cindy.
hello,
Hello?
Patricia.
that?
Hi, Mireya.
Oh,
on
Maria.
audio.
Okay, Maria. Okay.
I'm only on audio.
Okay, okay. Thank you. Okay, next we have Cindy Hoffman. Please unmute and share.
Okay, I'll read some very short ones. Haiku type poems. This one is Insomnia. 11 p.m. and I'm lying in bed with Mozart and reflux. True story. The next one's also about music, but I wasn't sleeping with them at the time. The irony of the Ninth Symphony. The only one in the whole wide world who never heard the magnificent Ode to Joy was its composer. Beethoven was deaf at that point. And now I'm going to read the poem that Patty put in Sense and Sensibility this month. Thank you. It's a little haiku. Photosynthesis, abundance of pear green leaves, money grows on trees. Thank you.
Thank you. Money does. I wish it does grow on trees.
Well,
Use
looks
it right
like
now.
Looks
Yeah.
like
Patricia. Yeah, Patricia.
Yes, yes.
I know I said I didn't leave early, but I could stay until about
That's okay.
3:45.
I'll keep you in this round. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
You're gonna be the last one in this round, okay?
Sure. Okay.
Thank you. Edward, unmute and share. Welcome. Then after
Thank you
Edward,
very much.
yeah.
Thank you. This one is called The Picnic. Bobby Lee and I could hardly get through the service. The picnic was all we could think about. The Reverend Jubal T. Kane was speaking on the Sermon on the Mount and how the meek would inherit the earth. We then sang Just a Little Closer Walk with Thee, page 272 in our hymnals. I melted every time I heard this. Reverend Kane said that the Holy Spirit was truly behind each of these old gospel songs. I believed it. Finally, the service had ended. Mom and Dad spent forever talking to Reverend Kane as coffee hour, and at long last they said goodbye. Reverend Kane said he would see us at the picnic. He was going to be leading the prayer. Um, he said he was going to be leading the prayer just before the big event. We got home and immediately put together the basket. The sandwiches and potato salad had been made the night before. Mother poured lemonade into the thermos. Uncle Gerald Joel and Aunt Louisa Kay would be joining us. They would be bringing stuff too. And Aunt Louisa promised cake. We arrived at the town square around 2. The band was playing on the stand. The mayor was about to speak. Then the senator and Dad wanted us to get a picture with him if we could. And after the meal, we played on the jungle gym with our cousins. Then we heard the drums. The sheriff had led the man out of the jail to the tree in the town square. The Reverend Jubal T. Kane stepped to the podium to invoke the prayer. A rope was thrown over the big branch. His head was put into a noose. The stand was kicked out from under him. He swayed. Pictures were taken, postcards were made, then sent out the following week. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Wonderful poems. Okay, next up, is there an Emily Kavanaugh here? Is there a Karina Lopez here? Okay, we move on to Zeb Torres, and after Zeb, we're going to have Beth and Amy read. Take it away, Zeb.
Thank you. Try again. Be creative. Do something no one else has considered. Combine fricatives and gutturals. Claim that you are the progenitor of an ancient incantation. Blend all the advice you have haughtily dismissed into an elixir with a pungent bouquet. Add texture to your white lies. For an hour or a day, punctuate all your remarks with hallelujah or scintillating or freedom rings. Hack into someone else's dreams and adjust the lighting. Shoot arrows into the hearts of dolls cradled in the arms of children while impressing upon them that playing well with others is always a secondary concern. Step into the line of sight of someone fumbling his lines, who is stumbling from here to there, and proclaim proudly that you are a disruptor, and disruptors disrupt. And disruption begets chaos, from which life reformed will certainly emerge. In time. Within time, within our own time, we breathe and count and dine al fresco. We learn to write and eat with utensils. We wound and heal and take offense. We condemn and reconsider and forget ourselves. We protect ourselves as long as we can from the unwieldy, this world reality that convulses our fleeting time. One more. We made mistakes, giddily, ruthlessly, intentionally, as we're taught to do by our role models, our mentors, our parents, our peers, made them again and again, improving upon our mistakes, refining our mistakes, perfecting our mistakes in all their permutations, extolling the virtue of our mistakes to the benighted, inscribing on the rind of the world to be contemplated and revered by those yet to be, a compendium of our hallowed mistakes and a litany of their glorious ramifications. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Beautifully done. Okay, next up we have Beth S.K. Morris. Please unmute and share.
Okay, I'm going to follow up with Lakshman, who talked about his mother, but this is a little bit different spin on my mom. And it's from my book, which is posted already on the chat, from a yellow notebook, and it's called Before and After. Before my father's heart failed. The first few years in Florida were good. Saturday night dances at the clubhouse, mother's bingo games, she always won. Father's billiard tournaments, he always won. He swam laps in the pool. She dog paddled in her homemade flowered hat. He took long walks at sunset. She learned to drive. After, my father's visits to the hospital became more frequent. Trips to the ER went from once a month to once a week. He spent his days in bed, watching baseball, Star Trek, kept track of the 40 pills he took every day to stay alive. She spent her days on the porch, the lanai in Florida ease. Her only companions, cigarettes, crochet hooks, knitting needles. Before my mother went into the nursing home, after my father died, she sold the condo, came back to New York, to the daughter she knew would take care of her, sat on a bench outside her building, alone, called the other neighbor ladies pigeons. Once when I visited, an elegant man was sitting next to her. When I approached her, she said, "You know you have to leave. My daughter's here." He graciously apologized and moved on. I told her, "Mom, he seems nice. Why don't you ask him up for a cup of coffee?" Her reply, "I'll never wash any man's dirty socks again." Not Lakshman's mother.
Fabulous. Okay. Thank you. Next up, we have Amy Barone. After Amy, Ron Bremer, Elizabeth Moss, Phil Linz, Carrie Radner, and Ernest Woodley.
Okay. I'm going to read a poem I read last Saturday. There was a tribute for the late Hal Sirowitz. It's called Blue Marble Memory.
Yeah.
An April evening in 2015, I trekked to the Blue Marble bookstore in Westmount Erie, joined by Ron Colm, Shalom Newman, and local Hal Sirowitz. From the intimate second floor space, Hal wowed the audience with humor and satire, shining through poems inspired by mother, father, New York, and his new home. We marveled at how he had thrived since our last meetup, nurtured and bolstered by his wife Minter, and enduring love. Flanked by a poem vending machine, we then sold and signed books, promising to gather again soon to recapture the evening's magic. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, yeah. Thank you so much. Okay, next up we have, that's it? Okay. Okay, that's it. Okay, we have Ron Bremer, unmute and share.
Yeah, there's so much overwhelming talent here today. I'm going to just sit back and listen and give back up time. So take it away, folks.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, next up we have Elizabeth Morse, and after Elizabeth, we're going to have Phil Linz, Carrie Radner, and Ernest Woodley. Elizabeth? Elizabeth? Hi.
Okay. Rock collection. I thought it would grow, so I planted a stone. Snow was still outside in patches. Pebbles eventually covered the yard and sidewalk. Stones are the grief you don't want to know you have. Red rocks pile up on your doorstep. They are useful as bookends. My son had a rock collection. Glassy blue ones, phosphorescent ones. He would invent more with his incandescent mind. Now there are just gray ones in his room. Under the dusty desk, the bed is gone. Pebbles eventually cover the floor. Snow is still outside in patches. What you left. You left me an orange on the table, and I scatter the white veined segments. Gazing out the window, I murmur my sorrows. This is the love you peeled on my table. All you have left me is an orange, golden segments leaking grief. One more? Okay, all right. Looking forward. Ghostly flowers on trees just noticed at midnight. The throbbing air teases. Wind takes us nowhere near warmth. Let no season leave you untroubled. A blue mask conceals my dry cough. Figures pass in the dark by the churchyard. Time stretches into non-linear. It's a poorly marked trail on an obscure mountain. Past and present braid together near white flowers on branches. Soon the sky will stay light long after supper. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, next up we have Phil Lintz, unmute and share.
Thank you. Thanks, Teresa. This is after Billy Collins. Another reason why I don't keep a gun in the house for Paul. And the acronym is, epigram is the neighbor's dog will not stop barking. He's barking the same high rhythmic bark that he barks every time they leave the house. They must switch him on their way out. The neighbor's dog will not stop barking. I think of the Collins poem from the CD Lisa gave me years ago. He put on a Beethoven symphony, but I still hold on to my vinyl. I don't even care about drowning the dog out. I just love the music. I put on an old Linda Ronstadt album, one that I've loved for many years. The first cut is a cover of a great old Chuck Berry tune. And I see the 1957 Chuck, conch-haired and duck-walking, sharing the stage with Linda circa 1976. And though they both look and sound great, they're both strangely on the stage today at a Tea Party rally. The small crowd seems to love their rock and roll patriotism. The second cut's also a cover. First time I ever heard the song was an old Dizzy reissue. But here's a simple arrangement, piano and voice, a vehicle for Linda's breath and power. She never disappoints. But it's only after knowing the song for many years that I learned it was written by Oscar Hammerstein and Sig Romberg. I think the dog has stopped barking. There's a lot of fear in his bark, probably being afraid of being alone. Sorry. Maybe Linda's voice is just the sound of someone moving upstairs, a reassurance that he's not alone. But not that much. He's just catching his breath. The barking starts again. Meanwhile, Linda has gone through the rest of the songs on side A, the black vinyl. Meanwhile, I very reluctantly have showered, shaved, and organized a simple breakfast. The dog and I are now a team as listeners, though we've never met. We've heard a smooth, Motownish pop song, the rock and roll creepiness of Elvis Costello, and the lyrical surprise of the underrated J.D. Souther. I'm late for work, as I always am, so I'll make it up at the end of the day, as I always do, always bending the rules. I put my key in the front door lock, turn the deadbolt, and hear him starting again, refreshed. Maybe there's fear, but maybe it's more. It's also his art, his reason to be. 8:10 a.m. and it's already 78 degrees. South Georgia in June, just the middle of a work week after Billy Collins. Thanks.
Thank you, Phil. Okay, next up, okay, since we don't have 12 yet, I'm going to add on to the list. I'm going to add Jack Cooper and Claire to the list, okay? So next up, we're going to have Carrie Radner, and after Carrie will be Ernest Woodley, and after him will be Jack Cooper and Claire Argenti, and that'll be it. Take it away, Carrie.
Right, two short new poems. Why I Stayed After Intermission. In some of the musical works where Jordi Savall played his viola da gamba, and he conducts the singers in the musical ensemble, my mind flies towards many European rivers, a mountaintop in the Andes, and a 19th century diamond mine in Kimberley, South Africa, where I danced upon gems in the holy ground. When old music becomes new, and my anticipation and excitement keeps me in my seat during intermission as I tell myself, when are they coming back? When are they coming back?
Jeez.
Yeah. Okay, here's another one. Good Friday. The clouds are crying. Fog transforms our dry skins in an unrelenting dampness. The faithful are mourning for Jesus at church today. I used to do that. Not anymore. Doubt kills dreams. The sage advice written on a Starbucks coffee cup cuts me to the core. Why do I continue to doubt myself? Why is anxiety my constant companion? Why are taxes so difficult to understand? Some people show up for work. I'm glad not to dig in all alone. Their kind words and casual conversations about the weekend feel like a balm as I dry out from the morning fog. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, next up will be Ernest Woodley. Unmute and share, and after Ernest will be Jack and Claire, and then we go on to the features.
Okay. Good afternoon. Poem I'm going to read is Jackie Roosevelt Robinson, 2026. On April 15th, a hump day, ball players wearing number 42, tribute to a gate shaker, a protester, a supporter for Martin Luther King, a man who planted the seed for what's to become in America, impacted the world, fighting for equality for the Black race. We'll keep on fighting. A salute to Jackie Roosevelt Robinson. Okay. I have time to read one more.
Yeah, one more.
Okay. This is not mine. This is from Maya Angelou poem because her birthday is this month. I like to read as a tribute to her. It's called Artful Pose. Okay. Of falling leaves and melting snows, of birds in their delight. Some poets sing their melodies, tendering my nights sweetly. My pencil halts and will not go along that quiet path. I need to write of lovers false and hate and hateful wrath quickly. All right.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ernest. Okay,
Thank you.
Okay, next up, Jack Cooper from Paris. Bonjour. Jack, you're muted. You're muted.
This is called a story. She sang from the top of a tower, unseen by anyone below. Though people passed by in number and speculated as to who she was and to whom she sang. Only one soul would ever devise the ascent, note by note, required to behold her as she poured forth her song in secret. And that soul alone remained less visible than she herself. For the quality of soul and its configuration lay in pure invention of reality, a conjoined effort, not only to be heard, but to be listened to. Words spoken that, at last, could complete the song. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up is Claire. Unmute, please.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Perfect. This time it's working. This one is entitled A Few Hours in the Park Just Before Sunset, while the sun is at its peak and everything seems bright and yellow around one. People are sparse on the grassy hills here and there, like salt. Bright, colorful spots populate the grass, disrupting the long layers of green elongating through the park. Groups, large or small, and among them single people enjoying nature alone. For some reason, mostly women, as though to enjoy some peace without their counterparts, or because their connection to nature is so that they don't need company, for it is strong, it's an evidence, natural, simple, perhaps more like an extension of themselves. Over them watch flocks of crows, teamed up and observing humans from the tree. They keep together in groups of 6 to 7, bright black dots in the light or darkened green leaves, cawing, sometimes ruffling their wings, facing the crowd and the single people on the grass, as if guarding them, and as if perhaps the guardians of women's peace and freedom, the unconscious sentries of nature and femininity. Thank you.
Thank you, Claire. Okay, now we're going to start with the features. Okay, we have here Danny Schott. Let's get this out of the way.
Okay.
Danny Schott, last year, 2025, was a busy year for Danny Schott with 2 books published. A collection of poems, The Jersey Slide, in November by Calvin Kerry Press, and his prose collected in Night Bird Flying in February by Roadside Press. Works was published in 2018 by Calvin Kerry Press. Danny is a New Generation Beat Poet Laureate to 2024 lifetime. Danny Schott was the longtime publisher and editor of Longshot Arts and Literary Magazine, which he founded along with Elliot Katz in 1982 in New Brunswick, New Jersey. More information can be found on his website, dannyschott.com. Let's give a warm Brownstone welcome to Danny Schott.
Thank you. I'm really glad to be here. And I'm really happy to read with Rescue Poetics and Talina Lachelle Queen. And I thought about it, wow, what a good combination of people. And then it dawned on me that today is New Jersey Day for Brownstone Poets. So I'm even more thrilled to be reading with you all.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt, but goodbye, everybody. Enjoy National Poetry Day, National Poetry Month.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
First poem. Like Falling Rain, and this has an epigraph. When it's by Bertolt Brecht. The line goes, when evil doing comes like falling rain, nobody calls out, stop. Don't start with the good old things, but the bad new ones, he said in my dream last night. So here's to Amazon warehouses turned into ICE detention centers, banks foreclosing our neighbors, to poets writing grant proposals and Congress collecting unearned pay. To killer drones from outer space, to Carolyn Levitt's lying eyes, dollar signs shine in expectation of upcoming tell-all book deal, to factories reopened as condos, same smokestacks, new rooftop bars, to the War Department's illegal strikes, brought to you by the same folks who think, what could ever go wrong? Mother Courage reminds us that profit comes at a cost. Quote, and in our graves we shall find peace unless the war goes on in hell. Maybe the show goes on in the grocery store line where the self-checkout counters silently judge our scruples or lack thereof. In the landlord's text sent from a yacht named Mar-a-Lago. Berthold, you'd laugh at us, at our irony so thick that it's tragic. Quote, show the audience the strings, but make them dance anyway. The show must go on. In the eyes of the security guard posted in front of the synagogue, wondering if he too is part of the performance. In the tired faces of teenagers staring at overworked screens, anxiously awaiting whatever Act 2 might have in store. Probably audience participation. And no one looks forward to that day. Or maybe we all do. Okay. Catching your breath in a burning house. My politics can be summed up in 2 words. anti-fascist, or Antifa if you insist on one. We're not supposed to talk politics at the high school reunion. Fine, we'll skip the reunion. We'll meet where we can laugh in another town, perhaps another time. We're not permitted to call them fascists anymore, but their boots echo loud, shiny, and stomping through the halls of media giants, corridors of white shoe law firms, centers for disease control, through classrooms and dormitories, into your child's consciousness. You ask, what does courage look like? It's not a cape or a championship belt. It's definitely not a gun. Maybe a weary janitor refusing to mop up blood that was not an accident. It could be a talk show host unwilling to be silenced. Sometimes it's a librarian who leaves banned books where kids can find them. We've seen this movie before in Berlin, Moscow, Imperial Japan, Charlottesville, Kabul, Jerusalem. Fascism and violence march lockstep, hand in hand. Call it genocide if you dare. The subways still run. Gas was cheap when I wrote this. The Marvel universe remains intact. Tech stocks soar to Olympian heights. Amazon Prime delivers the next day. Planet Fitness always a deal. Supermarkets' shelves remain full with inflated coffee, bread, and meat. No one is innocent who chooses not to see. Teachers try to teach history or science in whispered syllables like contraband jazz. Don't wait for the uniforms to change. They already have. Now they wear masks and flags on their lapels and carry guns with the safety off in fear for their lives. Courage is not the absence of fear. It's carrying that fear into the courthouse, the classroom, the library, the voting booth, and into the streets. Remember, bullies are cowards at heart. You are not insignificant. Fascists only can win when you believe you are small. When they say unity, ask under whose rule. When they chant freedom, count the cages holding brown workers and children. Then, when you feel lost, stand up anyway, even if you tremble, even if your voice shakes. Take a deep breath, make yourself breathe again and again and again. Don't ever stop caring or breathing in this fucking burning house. Okay, this poem is for my father. His name was Siegfried. My father, Siegfried, was a modest man, the kind who carried history the way farmers carry weather, with little complaint. Born 1906, fourth child of 9, the same year ragtime takes place, long ago, Teddy Roosevelt time. Max, Hattie, Gustav, Siegfried, Lena, Willie, Bella, Kurt, Claire. A roll call of hunger. The barren farm outside Frankfurt, so close the city claimed it like a distant relative who never came to visit. In 1914, Gustav drowned in a lake. Dad told it to me with the calm voice of someone who had already buried the shame. The children were secretly happy, one less mouth to feed. At the funeral, the Jewish community brought food, a table so full it startled them. Bread, meat, potatoes on dinner plates. Dad said that was the first time he realized they were Jews. A year later, his father went to war for the Kaiser in Belgium. A farm full of children, starvation hovering in the doorway. Then his father returned, not alone. 4 French prisoners walked behind him, a strange harvest. He took them from the POW barracks and brought them to the farm. Work for food. That's how my father told it. In 1917, Siegfried and Max were pulled from school, 11 and 13 years old, each given a rifle. If the prisoners run, shoot. 2 boys guarding 4 men who probably had sons their age. The farm thrived that year. War has its own economy. In 1918, the French soldiers were released back into the war-ravaged world. My father worked the farm until 15. Then the factory, 10 hours a day, 6 days a week. 60 marks, which is about 12 US dollars. A loaf of bread cost 40. His parents pushed a wheelbarrow full of money to the market and came home with almost nothing. Imagine that, money lighter than bread. Finally, my father and Max had enough. They bought passage on the SS Bremen, September 1928. Two farm boys crossing an ocean they had only seen in books. They landed in Hoboken, stepped onto American pavement, the smell of salt and coal still on threadbare coats. The country already leaning toward the Great Depression, like a building about to fall, but to them, it was possibility. My father was 51 when I was born, already an old man in my childhood eyes. He died in 1972, and now I am older than he ever got to be. Sometimes I think about that, about the farm outside Frankfurt, the drowned brother, the rifles in boys' hands, the wheelbarrow of money, the ship bobbing across the Atlantic, and how my father, damaged though he was, carried it quietly across his life, like a man carrying water from a hidden well no one else remembers. Okay, this next poem is not by me. It's a found poem. Actually, my wife Caroline found it. Hopefully she found it and didn't write it. Found poem from nj.com, April 18th, 2024. Dear Miss Manners, an acquaintance of mine has taken to writing poetry. It's awful, full of unnecessarily obscure words, commonplace observations presented as profundities, tedious self-ruminations, etc., etc. I've heard enough to last me a lifetime. But whenever I encounter this individual, they announce excitedly that they've written a new poem and ask me if I'd like to hear it. Before I can respond, they pull out their smartphone and begin reciting. This individual lives in my apartment building. Short of moving, what can I say or do? Dear gentle reader, must you rule out moving? It strikes Miss Manners as a reasonable response to living in fear of surprise attacks of amateur poetry. Okay. A Sunday in March. I'm sitting in a hall in Jersey City with a whole bunch of Ukrainian and Afghan refugees, kids running all over the place. People seem genuinely happy to be able to speak to each other in their native languages. When I picked my family up, Yulia, the mother, seemed taciturn and maybe sad. Now she's laughing with the other women. We're supposed to leave at 2:30, but I don't want to drag her away. The women are now exchanging numbers, and a few of them are crying, which makes me want to cry, which of course I won't. This may be how my mother once felt. Maybe. Part 2. Okay, I'll tell you how it ended, which might make you laugh. It made me laugh. Another family who Yulia met asked if I could give them a ride home as they lived a few towns from Yulia. I said, sure. The man said, how much? They all thought I was an Uber driver. On the way back, the women were laughing and talking nonstop. I dropped Yulia and her son off in Hackensack. The man spoke a little English. His wife and son, none at all. I explained that I was doing this as volunteer work for the Hoboken Synagogue, where I am not a member, but a friend of the rabbi. As I let them out by their home, he said, how much? I told him the ride was free. He said, you said you were Jewish. I laughed. His wife heard us laughing. I think she asked what we were laughing at. He said something, but I heard the word Juden. She reached into her pocketbook and started pulling out money. It was like, no, I was like, no, all smiles. As they left my car, he came over to my side to hug me. You, a rare, remarkable man, he said before leaving. Okay, one last one. Thanks. Jack Weiler said I was lost. and he wrote it in a poem. I don't think I'm lost. Lately, everyone is so confident, confident they are right, confident they know the way, confident they'll get laid, so sure of how to punish guilty people on TV. Often, I have nothing in my head. I'll be walking down the street thinking I should be thinking about something, but I'm not. Well, sometimes I think about where I parked my car, or if I need a haircut, or why old people don't like loud music when they're a little deaf, or how I should call my sister even though she's dead, or how the multiplicity of the multiverse already exists in the form of 8 billion living worlds, each a universe unto itself. Then I look up at the tree, its orange autumnal splendor on the side of Our Lady of Grace, beneath the bluest burst of sky Hoboken has to offer, and I think, this is life, my life, one of billions. Not too bad at all. Thank you for this gift, and thank you for listening.
Thank you, Danny. Beautiful. I love it. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Now we move on to another Jersey person, and that will be Rescue Poetics. Susan Giustiano is a self-taught bilingual poet, recording artist, and arts advocate recognized across the Northeast for her dynamic performances and community engagement. Twice honored as Poet Laureate, Jersey's first Puerto Rican woman laureate, and New Jersey Beat Poet Laureate 2022-2024. She is on teaching artist rosters and advisory boards nationwide. Since 2006, her brand has fused poetry with activism, producing multilingual events and recording bilingual spoken word. She serves on boards and committees advancing equality in the arts, including Art Pride NJ and Full Color, Jersey City Writers, and the Justice Arts Coalition. Learn more, Linktree at Rescue Poets. Let's give a warm Brownstone welcome to Rescue Poetics.
Thank you. Thank you. That was a beautiful introduction. And thank you, everyone. It's such an honor to be here and part of the features that are representing New Jersey today. Slowly unfolding, heavy droplets tracing echoes down glass in this hazy world. The framework, taut and cracked, each groove deepened by discontent, by resilience disguised as strength, an awakening, ancient rhythms within, another traced echo, from confusion to clarity, from despair to breath, another storm forming in my chest. As the downpour takes over, consuming, filling the cracks, I stand still. Let it strip away the shell of what used to be me. Carrying away worn remnants, bare and raw, the tempest takes over. Securing the passage between what was and what is becoming, what roots I choose to carry forward. Ignoring the maelstrom never stopped its existence. Shutting my eyes never saved me from being swept up. Pretending never stopped the destruction of my own doing. The shroud unfurls, challenging me to welcome what it truly reveals, an awakening from complacency, a truth. The fight for freedom doesn't ever end. I've learned to sit in the in-between, breathing and lightning. Breathing in, lightning. Breathing out, thunder. Traveling the depth of each timed connection between, underneath, and through. The purging, in the pattering, drums resounding, I learn. Understanding is not a passive state. Knowing is not a single direction. Perception and self-reflection are more than virtues. They are bricks created from nourishing soil to rebuild with intention, with rain-soaked hands. Echoes of long-away thunder swept away by shifting clouds, heavy with grief, memories, and regrets. Rain doesn't name the thunder inside. Now I name it. Now I let it restore. I am better prepared for the next tempest, not to hide, but to dance under the clouds, grounded in the eye, among the rhythms and the surges, reaching out for the lift, one with the unseen, reviving my place in this hazy world, no longer an echo, chasing or tracing other echoes. Home. Thank you. Thank you. I'm trying to get a spring theme in here in a way so that to encourage Mother Nature to give us more warmth instead of more cold. So let's see if it works. Picking up bits of pollen adhered to self, it's a loose and lonely effort to make things whole. The hum of bumblebees, breathing along the way, deep in, hum out, buzzing wings like that of a hummingbird. Specks on the horizon, the world is vastly different through the eyes of happiness, overgrowth, hiding, delicate surrenders of self, like a cat's whiskers. All with a single purpose, the bee, the hummingbird, the dragonfly, harbingers of self, joy, and discovery. It's a lonely effort to make things whole, jumping from one to another, buzz in, tap out, breathe deep, time to move on. Poem. Thank you. Thank you. Expected blessings. Barely awake, the vestiges of dream threaten to pull me back in. A soft tug from the edge of sleep, deep rise and fall, no fluttering, just a shifting flow of breath, right to left, ever so gently. Eyes opening slowly, a blessing, but expected. Breathe in, breathe out, blessing, yet automatic. Movement, blessing, taken for granted. The new day arrives, not with silence, but with demands. A series of subconscious and unconscious results, expectations stacked like dishes in the sink. Time to leave those on the pillow, trapped in its soft indentation left behind by the heavy head. Whether real or not, imagined or conjured, it's time to release them, to focus. Sitting up, blessing. Standing up, blessing. Wiggling 10 toes, blessing. Each one a quiet miracle. Each one once assumed. Stretching into a new day, smelling the caress of hot coffee, tasting a bite of anything. These are not guarantees, they are gifts. Sunshine, birds, breeze, city sounds. I used to expect them, as if the world owed me its rhythm. But now I count them, and I keep counting. Because expectation is silent, but blessing sings. And being alive, being here now, is the loudest blessing of all. Poem. This one is a mother-themed poem. It talks about grief of what you're going through and also the reemergence of who you are or who I am as a person. Deeply mourning becoming. There are changes with motherhood. Not only do life, decisions, time, and structure change. The body changes. The body changes. A heavy mourning of what once was normal, once nourishing a new being, comes a new understanding. That nourishment is akin to survival. Every bit taken of what once was held together by grit and clenched teeth, exhausted now, held together by naps and supplements and feedings, eating standing up, swaying to keep moving, resisting and resting, drained ideals of once upon a time, deeply mourning vampire hours and loud spaces, deeply mourning clarity and decisiveness, deeply mourning the freedom of get up and go, traded in for stability, traded in for a full night's sleep, deeply mourning the stillness, deeply mourning the quietude, deeply mourning the fog that once hovered, not settled deep within, but still there is movement, still there is breath, still there is becoming, and in the becoming there is mourning, and in the mourning there is acceptance, and in the acceptance there is something new. Not what was, not what used to be, something whole, something held, something enough. Living all the parts and knowing it's enough. Poem. And for my final piece, this is a piece that was published in the 2025 Brownstone Poets Anthology, Living All Parts of My Identity. Pieces cracked from being under pressure, folds that go dark from neglect, areas that have lost vibrant color from the constant draining, ideals and ideals that pretend not to be seen, dreams that fade from self-doubt, recriminations, regrets, rejections, constantly screaming, fluttering, and shuddering the backbone of self. So loud that sometimes those seem like the most important bits. Each moment comes in dark vastness, colliding with broken pieces, colliding and colliding. I pick them off, make room for stronger, turning misfires into focused thought. Somewhere inside, a voice compels me to keep them, those broken pieces. I know better. To live myself, my true self, they need to go. I'll spend half of every moment ensuring all of it, rearranging the vulnerable raw bits as they become strong themselves, living in a shadow that is not a life. Showering and cowering behind pain is less so. Feeding on scraps others say I'm worthy of only sharpens my hunger, a lifetime commitment to find myself, not where I fit in with others. That may never happen. I need to fit myself into the uniqueness of me. To live, I must give breath to all the parts that make me. Steal it if I have to. Claim air. Practice my voice. Fill my lungs with the capacity of me. Swim into my chaos. Know when to breathe in and when to breathe out. Know how to breathe in and breathe out. It's all new. The abyss of identity until I live there. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tilly. This is really fabulous reading. Okay, now we go into our break, but before we go there, just want to reiterate, we're going to a 50-minute break. You go for your coffee, tea, a little sandwich, whatever you need to do. Schmooze, you can unmute and talk, share. When we come back after 15 minutes, we're going to have Talina Lachelle Queen read. And then we're going to have the open micers. I see we have some people who just joined us. Karina Lopez, would you like to be on the open on the second half?
I'm just here listening, but thank you.
Okay, no problem. Okay. Okay, so let me go through the list. Next up, after Talina, we're going to have Peter Kozlowski, Jeff Cottrell, Caroline DiGiovanni, Ron Combe, Karen Newberg, Margaret Sirocco. Is she here? I don't think she's here. Mona Zanfirescu, Harvey Sauce, Ricardo Colessa, Zoria Zabud, Maria Perez, Lynn Shapiro, myself, and Roxanne. So that's coming up. And next month on May 30th, we're going to have E. Lynn Alexander, Han Roska, and Richard Longer. They're going to be the readers for next month. So hopefully you can join us. And feel free to schmooze. I'm just pushing my book again, and I'm busy working on, this is the anthology from last year. I just working on the new one. So that's in the works right now. So smooze and whatever. Unmute and share, everybody.
Thank you, Patricia. I want to say about the haiku, I've been sharing them with friends and everybody loves reading them. So thank you. Thank you for posting them.
Yeah, I'm working on the next Sense and Sensibility. I'm going to be posting that shortly after this reading because it's too soon right now. I'm just tired.
No, they're wonderful. Thank you.
Patricia, I can't submit for the next issue, right?
Yeah, I'll be, well, the next Sense and Sensibility, it's going to be a 3-month thing because I'm taking a hiatus. It's a lot of work.
So can I submit?
So it'll be for the hot summer coming up. It'll be for the June, July, and August issue. I'm just merging it all into
No,
one.
because I was there in the May issue.
Yeah.
So
I
can I
need a break.
submit?
I'm tired.
I know, but
And
can
I'm
I
still working
submit
on the anthology and other things, and I got to promote this book.
No,
I got book
yeah.
parties coming up, and
My question is, can I submit to the June, July, August issue?
Thank you.
Okay.
And it's pouring outside here.
Patricia?
Yeah.
It's Lynn Shapiro. I don't know if I'll be here for the open mic. It depends what time it is, so don't be surprised.
Okay, you want to read first when we come after Talina? It's up to you.
Sure. I didn't even plan on it, but thank
stick
you.
you up. We'll stick you. No.
Okay.
Anybody who registers is automatically on the list.
Okay, thank you.
So I'll
Thank you.
take a
Hey,
message.
everybody. Got a new book in the world. It's called How It Was, How It Is, New and Selected Poems. And my intention is to have 1 million people read the book. Not necessarily buy the book, but read the book. So I tend to give it away, especially to poets. I put the information on the chat. So if you want to contact me and get a free book in the mail, please do so. Patricia and Roxanne already have copies of my book, and I have a copy of Patricia's new book on jazz poems, which
Thank
is
you.
wonderful, and we thank Jerry Jazz Musician for
Kabaddi,
that.
kabaddi.
Yeah, you can thank Ron Bremer for getting me involved with this.
Thank you, Ron Bremer.
Because in 2018 there was this on Jerry mentioned about Jerry Jazz accepting Valentine's Day poems. I said, listen, I don't like jazz poems and I don't like Valentine's Day because I hate Valentine's Day. So that was the first one, Stranger on the Shore, and I've been hooked since. So thank you, Ron Bremer.
And we do read you because we love going back to that site, jerryjazzmusician.com.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to send him more stuff because he just asked for it. It's so much.
If you have time, you don't have a whole lot of time, Patricia.
That's the problem. Yeah. I'm gonna time out, go to the loo.
Roxanne, are you there? It's Beth.
I'm here.
Has your bond book come out yet? Or did I miss it? Or when is it due? When is it happening?
I'm writing it.
Oh, still writing.
21 poems. So
Hey.
Can't wait. You know I'm an old bag, so you better hurry up.
Well, I finished rereading all the Ian Fleming books. So, but
Okay, good.
I have like at least one for each book. It's usually about 2 or 3 for each book, and then I just started writing four of the 21 are in the girls' voices, so the Bond girls also get to.
Right.
So I decided to make sure I have one of the Bond girls for each book also. So it's just becoming a longer project.
Of course.
Any chance of there being a Bond boy? If anyone is here from New Hampshire or Maine, I'm going to be performing next week starting April 30th in Portsmouth, New Hampshire, and then in Maine on the 30th. So I'll be up there that weekend. If anyone has any recommendations of things to do, other poetry readings, please send them to me. I'll be happy to get them.
That's great, Rescue.
Thank you.
I'm drinking my coconut mango milk. Mm. God, I love coconut cream. Oh my God. And mangoes.
Do you make it yourself or you buy it?
Myself.
Very nice.
I cut up 2 mangoes, opened up a can of Iberia, whatever they had on sale in Key Food. The coconut cream. Threw it in, added some cinnamon. I think I could have used nutmeg too, but and I added honey and a little cardamom.
Oh, nice. When I travel, I get the Grace coconut envelopes, the powdered one, to as I go. Yeah, it makes it for easy traveling.
What I like about it, it's non-dairy. Because I have to cut back on dairy. Bad for my sinuses.
Oh.
I have to do a happy hour one day so to exchange those kind of recipes.
Yeah, I love coquito. What do they call that? That drink I have at Christmas time.
Coquito?
Coquito, yeah. I
Yeah.
made it. It was so good.
Yes.
Roxy sent me the recipe.
Very nice. I guess I know who I'm getting it from this year.
Yeah. And I still have the bottle here.
Oh, look at that. Very nice.
Yeah. The summer's coming up.
On ice cubes.
If we get a summer.
If we get a summer. I
If
guess
we get a summer. Is there going to be a summer this year?
I
It's
guess
going to snow in June.
We'll know in July for the Poetry Festival in New York, right?
It will be a scorch, not a summer.
Yes.
I think that's right.
Yeah, usually when they have a very bad cold,
It's probably going to be very hot and humid.
Probably in the 90s.
Okay, I think it's 3:29. We'll start in a minute. I'm going to resume recording.
Let me gulp this down. Hi, welcome back to the second half of Brownstone Poets. Glad we're here, and we have extra people here in the house. Welcome, welcome. We're gonna come back with. We're gonna have the third and final feature, Talina Lachelle Queen, and then we're gonna come back with the open. Okay, let me put this on speaker. Okay. Talina Lachelle Queen is a poet, educator, and community leader from Paterson, New Jersey. Since 2018, she has served as the city's first African-American poet laureate, using poetry to elevate community voices and advance social justice. She is the president and founder of Word Seed Incorporated, executive director of the Paterson Poetry Festival, and vice president of Carey Press. A doctoral candidate in education at National University's Sanford College of Education. Her research explores poetry's role in developing empathic leadership. She teaches AP seminar at College Achieve Public Schools High School and has founded initiatives including Paterson Poetry Month and the Passaic County Literary Arts Cultural Center. Let's give a warm Brownstone welcome to Talina Lachelle Queen.
Thank you very much for having me. It is a great honor to read alongside Rescue Poetics and Danny Schott, both of whom I am a huge fan. So thank you, Rescue and Danny, for being here. And thank you, Patricia and Roxy, for inviting me. I think Jack Cooper is here, and so I want to read a poem for Jack and Roxy to open. This is Vin Rouge. Je ne parle pas le français. Pas, je parle vin. Cabernet Sauvignon, Merlot, as long as it is red. Zinfandel, Syrah, Shiraz with meals or alone. Wine is the secret dream of the grape. None want to wither or on the vine or jelly. The grape wants to be loved. Les raisins veillant être amis, Malbec and Pinot Noir desire to be held on the palate for a while. They like the swish of the tongue and the flutter of the eyes just before the swallowing. Le vin, c'est la vie. Poem. I know, 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 I know it won't be long. This is a Black Christian poem that believes in a Black revolutionary Jesus who I'm going to do that again. This is a Black Christian poem that believes in the Black revolutionary Jesus who is reflected in bronze-skinned, woolly-headed Black boys performing the miracle of simply staying alive. In South America, in the Caribbean, in this room, in every fill-in-the-blank state in North America, this poem believes in believing. Believes that the second coming has woolly hair too. He might be my bronze-skinned son or yours. He might be kicking against his mother's bladder. He might be still in his father's body. He might be in a cage in the Texan-Mexican border that is really the Mexican border. He might be somebody we know. He might be somebody we counted out, somebody we least suspected, somebody we discarded or killed. He could be in prison. He might be in prison. He could be in prison for being way too Black. He could be in prison. He might be in prison for being way too revolutionary Black. Jesus might be that boy standing out on the block where church people won't go because we don't consider making domestic missionary trips on Martin Luther King Boulevard on Main Street in the projects. He might live at 237 River Street. He could be just down the road. He might be holding a newspaper on the corner in a suit and bow tie. He might be in the choir stand. He might be on deck at an open mic. He might be on the Gaza Strip. He might be on a loop that may make him unrecognizable to his neighbors who might not love him as he so loved the world. He might be in a high school auditorium. He might be waiting. He could be waiting. He might be waiting for just the right praise. He could be watching. He might be watching. He could be watching for just the right worship. Let Black Jesus be worth the effort. Be your miracle, be the signs, be the wonders, be life, be your salvation, be your strength, be your comfort, be compassion, be your all and everything. Black Jesus, Black Jesus, Black Jesus. He might, I don't know. I don't know where Black revolutionary Jesus is. I don't know when Black revolutionary Jesus is coming back, but I know, 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 I know it won't be long. Poem. 8. Today we arrived at school without 19 of the little ones, the littlest ones, 8 years old. 8 years old. 8 years old is too young to drive, too young to go to prom, too short to ride the roller coaster, too young to know better, 2 years short of the double-digit ages, but old enough to be added to the number 244. That is the number of school shootings before Robb Elementary. When will it end? Some of them were 9 and 10, some were 11. All of them are in heaven, where they will take classes on visiting dreams and guardian angelship. There will be no lessons on guns. There is no AK or AR quiz. There is no big test on ammunition. They'll be exempt from judgment, and they'll be too young to ride the horses. They should be learning to use patterns, to find the factors and multiples of numbers, to convert and calculate units of measure, not be the numbers, not be counted in a litany of murders. They should be reading new genres, marveling in the myths, listening to literary legends, folk tales, and fables, and experiencing legendary events in their own lives. They should not be the non-fiction horror added to the number 244. They should be learning the truth about this nation. They should be looking at the scientific process of classification. They should be studying organisms and the motion of objects, except bullets, and how they affect humans. No child needs to know that. They should be learning about electricity and circuits, rocks, fossils, and meteorology, not whether there'll be an active shooter today. They should be having spelling bees and learning about the place where they live, where they live, where they live. 8 years old, 9, 10, 11 years old. They should be learning to discover themselves as readers, writers, and researchers. They should be storytellers, not headlines. They should be alive. That poem is followed by the entire list of school shootings that happened up to that point. There's been more since, but I won't be reading those today. This poem is written for the centennial of Black History Month, 100 years. It's called What Would They Do? What would Carter G. Woodson do if Negro History Week became Black History Month, became a corporate branding opportunity? Would he remind us that miseducation is still miseducation, or would he sell the commemorative t-shirt? What would Marcus Garvey do with his Black Star Line vision? Would he still say, "Up, you mighty race," or would he settle for a seat at someone else's table? Would he build shipping empires or just ship away his pride for likes and follows? What would Mary McLeod Bethune do when education became a business? Would she still open doors with $1.50 and faith, or would she wait for the grant money to come in? What would Paul Robeson do when they threatened to take his passport, his voice, his livelihood? Would he still sing "Old Man River" anyway, or silence himself to keep the peace? What would A. Philip Randolph do when labor needs organizing? Would he be threatened? Would he threaten to march on Washington or settle for a press release and a panel discussion? What would Rosa Parks do? Would she when they tell her to move to the back, would she say, "No, not today, not ever"? or would she just call an Uber? What would Dr. King do with a hashtag and a heart emoji? Would he march or would he post? Would he dream or would he scroll? Would he write letters from Birmingham jail or send a thread from his timeline? I have questions. What would Ella Baker do when the meeting's virtual? Would she organize door to door or wait for someone else to take the lead? Would she remind us that strong people don't need strong leaders, or would she wait for the algorithm to tell her who to follow? I have questions. What would Malcolm do? What would Malcolm do by any means necessary in 2026? Would he build institutions or argue in the comments section? Would he study in prison and transform himself, or just consume content and call it consciousness? What would Fannie Lou Hamer do when she's sick and tired of being sick and tired? Would she testify or would she stay silent? Would she challenge the credentials committee or accept her seat in the back of the feed? I have some questions. I have questions. What would Medgar Evans do when danger comes to his driveway? Will he still investigate the murders or decide it's safer to stay inside and stream? What would James Baldwin do? What would James Baldwin do with all these words at his fingertips? Will he still go to the fire next time or just watch the world burn from a distance? And I have questions. I have so many questions. What would Bayard Rustin do when they tried to use his truth against the movement? Would he organize anyway behind the scenes or let respectability politics silence his genius? That's a very long poem. I'll stop right there because I have about 2 minutes left. And I'll read you this much shorter poem. That one was written for the anniversary and presented at City Hall. So for these 2 minutes, one of my favorite poems of mine is Ain't Nobody Got No Time for No Love Poems. Ain't nobody got no time for no love poems. Don't nobody care about no love when we got the blues and we got bills and we got blues songs about the bills. Don't nobody care about your doggone lips and how when them damn lips be coated in amnesia and how they touch me anywhere. Like I said, ain't nobody got no time. No time for no love poems. And even if we did have time for love poems, ain't we heard everything there is to hear about it? Love and lust and what love and lust wants us to do. We got to get ready for war with these damn poems. Arm our children with these poems. Record our history with these poems. These poems were intended to apprehend, the ones who weren't running away, got taken away, are still away, and can't find their way back home, even with the right to abode. These poems praise Ghana. Praise Marcus Garvey, praise Gullah Island, praise the souls forgotten in the Middle Passage, praise those fighting the thieves who stole, admonish the ones who sold us, the ones who bought who was being sold, and the ones who sold our souls and buried us beneath piles of legislation and water. So much water. These are protest poems. Ain't nobody got no time for no damn love poems. We got to make these words ammunition. These poems have jobs. Real serious issues must be tackled with these poems. Can't nobody be wrestling with thoughts of increased heartbeats and panting and panting and panting and panting and like I said, anybody got no time for no damn love poems. No, somebody got to write about blood and bullets and pain and poverty. Somebody got to write about real racism and all the damn isms and the cousins of the isms and Karen. Somebody got to deal with Karen. Ain't nobody got time for none of that, so we ain't got no time for no damn love poems. And even if we did have time for love poems, Patricia, haven't we said everything there is to say? Your body, that is my body too. And our tired souls, which are tired souls and old souls too, would make the kind of love that be producing love children. who we be trying to protect and teach and write poems to and for and about, like this one that wasn't trying to be no damn love poem. But man, ain't it love? Ain't it love? Ain't it love that make us write these poems? Thank you for having me today. Thank you so much. I appreciate you all, and thank you for this forum, Brownstone Poets, and I especially thank you for having a Jersey Day and having us three. I'm gonna say thank you on their behalf because I'm just so honored to be with them and all of you. Blessings.
Thank you. Thank you, Talina. Thank you, everybody. Okay. Wow. Hey, Jersey in the house. Rock and roll. Okay, we're going to go back to the open. I see and Emily Kavanaugh walked in. Emily, do you want to be on the open? I guess not. Okay. Okay. We're going to have, sorry about this. Lynn Shapiro, you want to read? After Lynn, we're going to have Peter Kozlowski, Jeff Cottrell, Caroline DiGiovanni, Ron Combe, Karen Newberg, Mona Zafarska, Harvey Sauce, Richard Kaleska, Zoya Zabad, Maria Perez, me, and Roxanne. Okay? Take it away, Lynn.
Hi, I'm going to read just a short poem that was published in Second Coming in March. On the evening of Alex Preddy's death, I find a bag with all kinds of candles that my late husband set aside for emergencies. The first one I try won't light. I take my mother's yahrzeit, thinking the glass will help with the wind. I put on a hat and coat, but no scarf. I'm afraid with a candle, and stand on the stoop, surrender to the night's solemnity. The moon is a blur. Snow is coming. The street is empty. Across from me, an American flag is flying. I know whose flag it is, and that he has a different take on our times. I have a flag too, taped to the glass on my front door, upside down. Mayday, Mayday. The wind snuffs out the candle. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Next up, we have Peter Kozlowski, unmute and share.
Hello, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
All right, it's called This Isn't 1914. Hey, you, stupid. What do you think you're doing? You can't use that thing in here. What are you, crazy? This place is all full of people. Where do you think you are? This isn't 1914. This isn't Kaiser Wilhelm. This is not the way it goes. You gotta find another place to fight. Why don't you go ride around in your space shuttles? You can test fire your missiles on Mercury. Or go blow up an asteroid. You know, how do you think they got that way to asteroids? There used to be a planet there. There are too many people like you. This ain't the wide open spaces. A couple of sticks of dynamite. This isn't what you think, and it's not what you want. I mean, it's already been done, you know. We had our Julius Caesar. We already had Attila the Hun. And it's not like you're some kind of Hammurabi or Cyrus. We're not enthralled to follow you. You're gonna have to find another way to fight. You can't just open fire, swing that thing around in here. Stop getting ready. I don't want to hear about it having to happen. It doesn't have to happen. You just want it to. It's not 1914. You'll have to find another way to fight. Okay.
Thank you. Next up, the Canadians. We're gonna have Jeff and then Caroline. Take it away.
All right. So this is new and untested. It's kind of a found poem. I've always been kind of fascinated with mondegreens, misheard lyrics in songs. Sometimes they're really funny, and sometimes there's a kind of poetry in them. So anyway, this is called My Favorite Childhood Mondegreens. Red Red Wine by UB40. Just one thing makes me boogie. Red Red Wine. We Will Rock You by Queen. You got mud on your face. Big disgrace. Somebody better push a bag into your face. Pride in the Name of Love by U2. Early morning, day before. A shuddering eye in the Memphis sky. Free the last days of your life. Get a clue now. Take your pride. California Girls, cover version by David Lee Roth. I dig a French bikini, all the while I'm approached by a palm tree in the sand. Adult Education by Hall & Oates. You live an obnoxious life at the high school. Addicted to Love by Robert Palmer. Whoa, you like to think that you're a new type of stuff. Oh, yeah. Major Tom by Peter Schilling. Earth below us, drifting, falling, floating wafers, coming home. Beat It by Michael Jackson. Show me how fucking strong is your fight. Romancing the Stone by Eddie Grant. Every night and every day, I'm in love, the heart ain't a wang. Two Tribes by Frankie Goes to Hollywood. When two try a tug of war, horny toads and you can score. And finally, Sunglasses at Night by Corey Hart. I wear my sunglasses at night so I can watch you wave and wave a starry light. I did not buy that he was singing real words. That was my favorite childhood monogreens. I have a new book for sale. I will probably put that in the chat one more time. Thank you. I'm Jeff.
Okay. Thank you, Jeff. That was fun. Okay, next up we have Ron Combe.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Last week, Robert Snyder presented his book on COVID when the city stopped again at LaGuardia Community College, and I have a poem in it. A subway story in a time of COVID-19. I had to travel into Manhattan to cash my unemployment check, so I sat in the front car wearing a mask, doing my best to avoid the other passengers. After leaving the bank, I walked back to Union Square Station and found a place on the platform where there weren't too many people standing around waiting. Time goes by and no train appears. There's a sudden movement as a woman, late 50s, tosses her bag and her mask onto the tracks, then clumsily climbs down and joins them. Hey, what's up? I shout through my mask. She moans and says that this is how she's going to get home. She's tired of everything. She edges over towards the third rail, and unfortunately, because my back is so messed up, I can't physically grab her, so I unleash my best zinger. Do you believe in any kind of God? Because if you do, you gotta know how pissed off he or she's gonna be if you touch that thing. Young guy comes running over, jumps onto the tracks, and lifts the lady up, depositing her on the platform. He holds her, waiting for the police, who do show up pretty quickly. My train finally arrives, and I go home, amazed at how the universe works.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm sorry I skipped over Caroline by mistake because it's a long list here. I'm trying to. Thank you, Ron. Caroline, unmute and share.
Okay, thank you very much. This is a love poem, and it's dedicated to Telena. Age-old story. In the early part of our century, when the trees were saplings and we knew nothing of time, we fell in love. That was the right moment to lose ourselves into each other. We tolerated the little flaws and tendencies manifested in broken dishes, broken promises. All that I have is yours took over. Then the big commitments changed everything. Now, love would mean the warm house, the good food, the children growing up, school day routines, the work-life balance. We tried to find it all. Much calmer now. Love finds us here together. The daily pace so slow, it's like we walked through a doorway into another dimension, flat, plain, muted. We stay here with each other in this new phase of our life, aware of the reality of time. Our conversations, rich with memories like cinema unspooling, first in black and white, next blooming into technicolor. Those are the sweetest days I do remember of you and us and what we built together. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Beautiful. Thank you, Caroline. Next up is Karen Newberg, and after Karen will be Mona Zanfire.
Thanks, Patricia. Today is World Tai Chi Day, and I'm going to read a Tai Chi poem. It's the only one I've ever written. It's called After Looking at a Figurine of a Chinese Master's Snake Creeps Down. It's from Master Cheng Sang Yu. I remember how you called me little bird, how you said I was lighter, how you said I was light as a feather when I pushed. On Sundays for 6 years, we students wrote down the secrets you gave us about this martial art. We'd laugh among ourselves how the telling was told in ways that kept the secrets. I went 3 times a week, Wednesday evenings, Saturday, and Sunday mornings. We began with our practice, slow, precise, something to inhabit, focus on shifting weight, keeping alignment, where the movement came from. Each move had a name, and some I still recall. Grasp the sparrow's tail, white crane lifts its wings, carry the tiger to the mountain, wave hands like clouds. Fair lady works the shuttle, snake creeps down. How could a poet not fall in love with Tai Chi? How could I not respect your skill? You'd studied all your life, having gone at age 7 to the Shaolin Temple because you were sickly with asthma and your parents thought it would strengthen you. And then you studied with Chen Man-ching, who first brought this royal secret martial art from China. You were a master. For us, it was all practice. Well, this is not a statue of you doing Snake Creeps Down. The statue's form is as precise and correct as yours. It brings you back, keeps you with me as I practice my form almost every day. The short form, 12 minutes. The long form with you took an hour. And each day when I practice my Tai Chi, I thank you. And I think you might be pleased to know your little bird still follows you as I move through the form. Thank you.
Lovely. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that, Karen. Next up is Mona. After Mona will be Harvey, and after Harvey will be Ricardo and Zorea, Maria, me, and Roxy. Emily, are you still there? Would you like to read on the open? Okay, never mind. Okay. Okay, take it away, Mona.
Thank you, Patricia. Thank you, everyone. Just one short ekphrastic poem after a painting by Raphael, the Madonna of Tenderness, or otherwise called the Madonna of the Chair. From painting to painting, a river of people like the gaze that follows you in the darkness of every room. An earworm, a song you must have heard long ago that prickles with the tenderness of its own, the way bitter oranges fill the air before sweetness. This Madonna with medicinal breath is every woman. I tell my son who follows me with, "What is this?" Who is that? What are these other women doing standing naked by the trees? I'm pointing to the chair, the scarf, the orange dress. You know this touch. I know this touch. What is she looking at? You and all the futures. Loaves and fishes. Every future is different, I say. There is a crown and a cross in everyone.
Beautiful. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, Mona. Next up is Harvey. After Harvey, Ricardo, and after Ricardo will be Zorea, Maria, me, and Roxanne. Take it away, Harvey.
Okay, I don't think I read this here, so we'll give it a shot. It's called The Millipede. A relationship should have legs, but this? I don't know whether to embrace it or step on it. And if the former, which end should I turn to for a good night kiss? Uncertain of whether these creatures even have lips. Entomologists more familiar with the many-legged than I am, possessed of almost as many advanced degrees in their subject as a millipede has extremities. Repeat the story relentlessly as pie of a fin de siècle brouhaha said by musically minded colleagues to have occurred at Carnegie Hall, when a Heifetz of a millipetal violinist shared an encore with Gustav Mahler's New York Philharmonic. The myriapod usurping the human's limelight, bowing 500 tiny violins simultaneously until the maestro, skipping off the podium to take a bow, inadvertently, or maybe not, squashed it underfoot. Unapologetically scraping Millie goo off his shoe. Perhaps why no Millie he or she dares string instruments in our presence anymore, choosing instead to rap out protest lyrics against the man on street corners, as beat poets have been known to do. Broadway, take notice, each of them is a non-unionized chorus line unto itself, and cheap as sin. Besides out-gutting the gut strings of a violin, out-Tina Turnering Miss Tina Turner, millipedes recently gained recognition for being prodigious double-dutchers, 10 times better than centipedes, easily several hundred times better than my sisters and their friends, managing to coordinate all those pairs of legs while jumping being no small thing. That millipede at Carnegie Hall, I surmise, must have been a fellow well worth following online, or was it a gal? How does one identify their sex without a microscope's close study? Are there transsexuals among them? LGBTQ? I am no H. sapien supremacist or milliphobe, as firm a believer in Yetis as in Yeats, yet I must confess to favoring the two-legged when my hand sneaks up a dress. I expect that a millipede, if contact could be made, would assert that its kind, not mankind, was created in God's image, and which of us can say with certainty that it isn't so? That it's merely a show of insectoid Gnosticism, sign language given the creature's speed being too slow for meaningful conversation. With skin in the game and nearly 1,000 fewer shoes to lace up, I man the barricades with others who to a man will claim as I do to understand the bipedal nature of God, citing the example of our own Bruce Springsteen, born to run, able to outpace a millipede, and should it close ground, jump up and down on it, sending that bug to kingdom come. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Harvey. Next up we have Ricardo. You want to read on the open? Ricardo?
Hey, how you doing, folks? Can everybody hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. Thank you to Rescue Poetics for the invite, and everyone who are reading. Happy Poetry Month. A hard act to follow, and I actually didn't expect to be doing this, but hey, so let me give it a try. It's called, let me just bring my poem up. Saturday Moment. The rain falls outside, a good time to stay in. Listen to words flow through the phone. Slow time down when everything seems hurried and chaotic. Put on the spot to be a poet for a day. Being spontaneous keeps me from being self-conscious. Gives me comfort to hear when I think too much. The rain falls outside. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Welcome. Thank you. Come back again. Thank you. Next up, we have Zoria Zabad, and then after her will be Maria Perez, me, and Roxanne. Take it away, Zoria.
Hello, everyone. I'm so glad to be here. Thank you, Patricia, Roxanne, and all the other poets for this beautiful gathering. I'm going to read 2 poems for you today. The first one is called Feathered Wings. Since I went deeper into the thing, mending my wounds, I keep seeing people here and there, each in awe of their calling. Like that spring afternoon, looking through a window into the far west, I saw someone running. Not a light stride, but one when his whole being, cell by cell, was drenched in sweat. His muscles stirred in such restless motion that I swore I could hear his heartbeat. Chaos and fatigue clung to his face, but still he ran like the race had just begun. Glancing across, I noticed little by little others were appearing around him, dropping what they held and joining in. And just like that, the running crowd has quietly grown. Moments after this solidarity image, I sensed the head of the line sprouting wings in the place of hands and feet. In the blink of an eye, his wings had stretched wide, so when he dared his next step, he already lifted off the ground. Those behind witnessed it themselves, forming of the wings, how flying became real. Their enormous energy just bloomed. Gently, with every second, slipped away, more and more wings appeared on them. Leaning by the window in a quiet spring afternoon, when Tehran dressed like heaven, staring toward the distant west, a flock of birds I saw swaying with soft spring wind across the sky. And the second poem, I wrote this inspired from being separated from my beloved home country, Iran, for years. I was never truly gone. No one-way lane, I stepped across the oceans. Inside my ribcage, there was always a lone note, yet its beat was heard, if only flament spun into every grain of homeland. My hand inside my torso, holding my heart still in my palm, hoping it would blend in. I hadn't known oppression already encased them in ice. Leave bonus note to fade, I only sought a return to its drum, not this naked flesh. I read it wrong. Let the wind blow, threads are never more broken. Once summer's shadow calls me, I will return, and disappeared beat will come alive. Thank you.
Thank you, Zoria. Thank you. Okay, next up is Maria Perez. And is Emily Kavanaugh still around? Okay. Take it away, Maria.
Muy bien. Hola, everybody. So beautiful to be here. Took me a while to get on, but lovely, all the different voices. Okay. I will see the birth of Venus and Primavera. I could soon swoon to again after some time of not seeing them. Firenze is in focus now, happening in good weather, we hoped, because we wanted to do it last year, but it was too late in the burning season. Ah, and David, I remember that first time when I traveled to him alone that time, and I didn't budge for an hour and more, not even moving when the groups came in. And this time, a 6-year-old descendant of mine who loves to draw will look with me at his shining whiteness and more. Gracias.
And muy bien, gracias, gracias.
Gracias.
Okay, Emily, one more shot. I guess she's not going to read. Okay, my turn. One poem, very new one, based on what happened to me back when I went to London. But here we go. The Deep Freeze 2000-2026. London sky, an English summer, crisp, icy blue. The chill crawled up her sleeves, but she took in the sights, a solitary traveler, not by choice. Each friend, same response. Ask so-and-so. The truth was ice. No one wanted to come. She blended in with the city's vibe, her flowing auburn hair, an English rose from Queens. Americans would ask her for directions. Her company's PR division, a meetup with a colleague from a trendy guide to city life. The restaurant's name and food belonged to oblivion, the gentleman's name as well. Pasty arrogance, built from ice, eyed his American guest. His resentment didn't require words. This forced arrangement, his dislike on first sight. It felt like a bad date, but it was strictly business, at least on her part. And his company was paying the bill. Did he cancel his plans with another woman or man? Was she unappealing? Her conversation too trite, unsophisticated? The way she held her fork and knife? Was she too American? Most of the conversation came from her side. The ball never got past the net. When the check came, she thanked him. His reply lit the glass light. Next time, she should travel with a friend. Was she in the wrong? His inconvenience? She sucked it up, an apology given. There was no timeouts, only a quick exit. Back at work, Ruth felt bad for this fiasco. Who knew what the aftermath was for this man? But that was in 2000. Now it's 2026. The English Rose lives in Brooklyn. Her bandwidth travels the hemispheres. Her words have power, weapons that defend. He is back, except in the dreamscape. She is dressed in black, not to impress. He is quiet, more like a ghost. Maybe he's dead. Ask COVID-19. She is somber, the calm before what she'll do. She is a survivor, Brooklyn grit mixed in week-old NYC ice. Her deep freeze has no borders. The years rebuilt her. Closure doesn't give a shit. The girl was me.
No
I just
clue.
remembered his name, Peter. And last, my left and right arm here. Roxy, take it away.
Okay. Some new James Bond. Bond thinks DC can wait, drive down, take the long route, only to be caught up in a sudden squall and plow through flooded roadways, pray not to stall, and then the inevitable blowout. Nonstop patter on a fogged up windshield, vacancy, shrieks, and lipstick red neon. Thankfully, I yawn not too far afield. And there's the gatehouse still with its lights on. A woman stands before a shut door, says, "Sorry, we're closed for the season," but with one hand beckons me in from the storm. She's clearly shaken, and then I see the reason. Two armed professionals stand behind that door. She's been crying, banged up. I know the score. And this is number 2. Same story. And Bond responds, "My name is Bond, James Bond." That's a pretty lame name, a limey, huh? That's right, Gov. Let me spell it out for you. Where's your guest book, waving his wand-like pen? Bless this accidental hero. Thanks to a flat tire and a stormy night, if he hadn't stopped, my chances 0. Against 2 pros, subject to their delight. But here's my knight in navy raincoat, standing 6 feet tall, a lean and mean machine, a cruel tan face with gray blue eyes that scan swiftly, surmising the seen and unseen. This dark stranger who at first frightened me, now a love scribed upon my memory. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
What a wonderful reading.
Fantastic. Thank you. I want to give a warm Brownstone thank you to Danny Schott, Rescue Poetics, Talina Lachelle Queen, Roxy, who's my left and right arm. You guys here, the open micers, everything come back next month, Saturday, May 30th, for Elin Alexander, Han Riaska, and Richard Warringer. And check out my book. It's on Amazon. A lot of the jazz poems are in here. And I'm working on the anthology as we speak, as of this morning too, up to this deadline. So love you guys. You're amazing. It's a lousy day outside. Sunshine in here.
Thank you.
Great poetry today.
Yeah,
For sure.
very good. Had a good time.
Thank you, Brownstone Poets.
Good day, everyone.
And Emily, thank you for coming. I'm so sorry you couldn't read.
Thank you.
Have a good night, everyone.
Good night. Good night,
Okay,
Canada.
Good night,
Have
all.
a good night, everyone.
Good
See you
night.
next month.
Night.
Bye.
Be well.
Sorry
Good
about
luck.
that, Carolyn.
Bye. Thank
Stay well,
you.
everybody.
That's why I
You're
said,
up
you know,
here.
I cannot keep typing those names in there. It's too much.
That's
Read
okay.
it
No
off.
problem. Mwah.
Wow.
Thank you.
Love
Take
from the
care.
United States, not
Yeah.
from DC.
Ah. Thinking of you guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we need all the help and prayers we can get here. This place is just
Oh dear. They're mad because Canadian shops are not selling Kentucky bourbon. That's our only revenge.
good.
Wow.
I'll teach them. That's a blue state, but not that's a red state.
Thank you. Okay, everybody. Bye.
Bye, Caroline.
Okay.